Okay, so something else that we can do that's very useful and very interesting in LT-Spice is that we can actually make some of our parameters variable or steppable, so that we don't have to just run a simulation and then come back and change values and then run another simulation, but rather we can simulate multiple values for the same part in one simulation. And how do we do that? Well, let's say I want to change different values of resistance so that I can see how changing the value of resistance changes the behavior of my RL circuit. I can go here and I can just call, I have to put curly braces, and then inside the curly braces I can say RS or something, R series maybe, that's the value that I want to mess with, okay? And so now I need to tell LT-Spice to give RS some value. So what I could do is I can just say dot param RS equals 1K, right? And I can plot that down in my circuit, and that will behave just as if I just put 1K into the component, right? That's not going to change anything from my initial energizing circuit for my inductor. But what will change is, let's say I don't want to use this dot param and just give it a fixed value. I'll go ahead and comment that. Okay, so now it's blue, it's commented. Spice won't treat it like a 1K resistor anymore. If I run it, I'm going to get an error because I don't have a value for RS. Okay, it even said it right there, right? Okay, missing resistance value for R1 because I haven't defined anything. So let me go back to my Spice command window, and what I can do is I can say dot step param RS. And now I have a couple of options. I can either say list, and then I can start writing values. I could say 1K, 2K, 3K, or I could give it a start value, a stop value, and an increment value. So I would say this would give me all the values between 1K and 5K, stepping by 1K. So I'd get 1K, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, right? So let's go ahead and do that just to start. Go ahead and run that. And there are my steps, okay? You can see that as I increase the resistance from 1K down to 5K, I actually decrease my time constant, which is exactly what I would expect, right? If my time constant is L divided by R, increasing R should decrease my tau. And so you can see that for a 5K case right here, I get a very quick rise time, where it takes much longer to rise up in the 1K case. Okay, so that's the dot step param. For the list, let me go ahead and comment this one now. I'll go ahead and list dot step param RS list, and let's say I only want the values 1K, 2.5K, and 6K. Let's just say those are the values that I want. Let me go ahead and run that one. And now we can see I've got 1K, 2.5K, and 6K as my three values, okay? And LT-Spice on the Windows does a great job with actually interfacing with these, where I can come over here and I can select steps and mess around with the steps. I can show certain steps, delete other steps. I can open up the step legend. The downside of the Mac version here is that once I open up this steps window, this is going to sound ridiculous, I can't do anything from there. I can't close it. It's such a bad bug in the in the Mac version of LT-Spice. So I click steps here. It shows me step 0 is my 1K, step 1 is my 2.5K, and step 2 is my 6K, right? So if I wanted to select a couple of these steps and hit OK, now I'm stuck. I literally can't close this window. I can't cancel it. I can't do anything. So from here, I literally have to close LT-Spice, which is a terrible bug in the Mac software. So I'll try to stay away from asking people to use this step function, just because I think it's absurd that you can't do it with the Mac and actually use the interface. It's a really bad problem with the Mac version, like I said. But I just wanted to show you that you can use it because it's very useful, and for those of you on Windows, it's going to be very beneficial if you ever need to run multiple sims. Maybe not in my class or on a homework, but just in the future as an engineer, very useful to be able to step different parameters. And you can step multiple parameters, and it'll create a matrix of simulations. I could step resistance and inductance at the same time, and then it'll give me every possible combination of those two values. Okay, so very useful tool. Unfortunately, the Mac version is not great with using the step interface. You can run the step simulation, but then you don't really know which step is which unless you intuitively already know which step is which. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. I think it's getting a little bit long.